All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a real warm, um, and warm as to say a good thing, explaining Yah's definition of love. I'm trying, my glasses keep feeling like it's crooked, but when I'm looking forward, it's not, but it feels like it. So I want to explain Yah's definition of love. It almost kind of bring me to the same level of how people take his power. His power is not manifested for some reason uh, in the hearts of many. We want to say we know him. We want to portray we know him. We want to uh, think we know him. We want to feel we know him, but we know him not without his power. You have to know him in the power, by the power, through the power. It's impossible for one to exclude the power, but yet know the Father. You can't. It's impossible. So, this is how I feel about the word love. I know Sister Deborah talks a lot about the twos. When this here is kind of similar to the twos, knowing love two ways. It's impossible. Where that come from, I don't know. Let me say it again because it sure feel good in my spirit. It is impossible. It is impossible for the flesh of man to measure the word love in a way that defines the Father and how he defines love. We take this word love and we let the flesh have this same love we said the Father had. Oh, Sister Deborah ain't feeling too good, y'all. Sister Deborah ain't feeling too good, but I think I got some medicine. I think the ruach finna cut up. I think the ruach is about to cut up. I got chills in my legs, you guys. We try to measure. Thank you, Father. Yeah. Thank you, Father. Yeah. Oh, Father. Yeah. Thank you, Father. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Thank you, Father. Yeah. We try to measure this word love to be likened to or equal, similar in the way we as flesh say Yah is love. Yah loves us. When you get this word love, we break it down in twos, then we're going to have to lose one of them. He wants you to know you cannot apply love to a spiritual creator. Because love as the flesh know it is one thing. But love as the spirit of the Father is another. And I didn't think I'm going to be able to do this evening. Sister Deborah is so tired and feel weak. But now I'm starting to feel this thing. I'm ready now. I'm ready. So when Sister Deborah talk, I always tell you all that there are tools coming from the kingdom. Ooh, Father, hold me, Father. He wants you to know that the love that man has formed is not a love of him. But yet, we try to detach this word love, and we detach it to the Father without having the definition in the spirit realm of what this word is, what this word was, and what this word going to continue to be in the eyes of the flesh. Because the Father says unto me, as I say unto you, the word love, as you all know it, as those who switched words to best suit them to understand who the Father is from the kingdom, when the Father want me to let you know one thing about the twos. Love is not one of them. Ooh, Father, Yah, help me, Father, help me, Father. We are about to talk about explain Yah's definition of love. He wants you to know that he did not feel that when they took this word love and they applied it as a word that defines him. And it does not. Because it has no definition in the kingdom. Ooh, say what? He says has no definition in the kingdom. So I can't pour down tools from the kingdom in love. No, you can't, Deborah. Deborah, you can't do it. Can't be done. It is impossible. Because I wanted to add the tools in there to separate my father's love from the love of the flesh. And the Father said, no, you can't separate that. That didn't come from the kingdom. They created that word on the earth. So therefore, that word is a word man uses. And he says Satan is even behind the word itself. I am in trouble, y'all. I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. Let me show you something. Then he says to me, for that reason, I don't care if they want to put love in front of a name, or if they want to put love in back of a name. Deborah, if they want to put love on every side of a name, if they want to put it on the top and at the bottom, it can only represent the flesh of man. Because I am not love. I know. We all wants to believe that the word love is a word we can actually use to apply it, because we can switch it out of the order. But what he's telling me is there's no order to switch it out of. It's not a word that rests in the kingdom, come from the kingdom, created by the kingdom. It's a word of the flesh. And as you see, this is it backwards. That's love backwards. I don't know if y'all caught the grip. You might not have. It might have went. And that's okay too. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. But what he wants me to do, I'm going to do something. I'm going to wait till we get a certain amount in the live chat. And I'm going to ask you all to do one thing. And I hope that you all can enjoy this message because you're going to learn something you never knew. And don't think it's something bad, y'all. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because I'm gonna tell you what Sister Deborah taught all the time. I know that I am not the only one, even though I feel that I am. And I think that feeling can come from because you feel you're the only one, because he's not one that putting a whole bunch of them in one place. You see what I'm saying? And the way the Father has done his servants in these end days, he placed them where he saw fit and needed. And he didn't allow us to appear to be the same. You see? We're going to talk different. We're going to sound different. We're going to react different. We're going to do a lot of things different, but we all one in the body of Hamashiach. Only one can call us, one to do this and one to do this. And the way you do it, or how you do it, the way you say it, the way you react is still in the oneness of the Father. So today, not just today, I say in the last 4 or 5 days, I have kind of like saluted the fact that, wait a minute, they don't have to know what I know. They are balling. He is bringing those to the forefront to be for Sister Deborah to even be able to kind of discern them. And they're not talking like Sister Deborah, but they're talking like Sister Deborah. They're not acting like Sister Deborah, but they acting like Sister Deborah. We got something in common. We serve the same Father. You don't expect, if you had 1 million children, you do not expect all million to react, sound, look, and do everything identical, the same. So the Father says to me, but Deborah, well, here they go. And I'm like, wait a minute. I said, with one of them, I said, that sounds like me. Which is me. And I was like, I like that. Let me get back to this topic. So I'm going to give you that information before I'm off this here platform tonight. But what we're going to do is, I'm going to wait to one more number hit the live chat, whether they're on in the live chat or not. I'm going to still ask a question, and I want to know if you all could respond based on your search. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, because we're going to find out a lot of things. You're going to find out that this word love, like Tina Turner used to say, what do love have to do with it? You got to understand what is love. And like when I showed you, it's this backwards. So that word was placed into the King James Bible by its own what you call man-made right way, their way. Now, this ain't the righteous, the spiritual righteous. It's just the way that they did things, okay? How they changed words and took words that they knew mean something else, and they applied it and insert it, and everybody got caught up in all these years drilling. When we read it, oh, it's this, and it's this. When we see in this instructions and direction book, and it surrounds our Father, it surrounds the Most High Yah. Okay, when that word surrounds the Most High Yah, He wants us to look at it and convert it out of what it says. Okay, and know what it should have been in there, but it wasn't. So, and this is really scary, y'all. This is really scary. It's almost just like the power. The main thing, if say for instance, if you had to ask the question, what would be the main things, the two main things? I would say the two, because one pulled up with the other. So I would say two. But they would ask you, what would be the main thing that the world battle would when they come down to a creator in the heavens? What will be what one would be? People are battling the son of Yah, okay, and they're battling the power, the son of Yah and the power. When Yeshua said that the Comforter was going to come, he even let you know he's going to pull up with power. So you're going to receive power. Where's the power at? Oh, have y'all seen it? Oh, can you tell me where I can see, where I can buy it, or where I can get it, or where it can be found? You get what I'm saying? Only way you know where that power is, you got to go back to Genesis where it started. Because in him was the word, and the word was him. And what made that word, when he speak his word, what made things come forth? His power brought every word that proceeded out of his mouth to what? To power. It brought it how would I say it? It brought it forth. You see? So the power was missed in Genesis 1. Okay? And when you miss the power, you miss the other son. What do you mean, Deborah? See, Yeshua was the son of man born of a woman. Okay? But there's something came with him, which was the son of Yah, which is Hamashiach, which is the word called Christ. Okay? He was founded in Genesis. That's the one he was talking to when he said us, his own power, his only begotten that he had, which was his power. You see what I'm saying? So you can't say his only begotten son was Yeshua, because Yeshua is not his only begotten son, because we all going to stand in the kingdom. And you're going to see the Son of Man in the kingdom on the right hand in his glory next to the Father. But he's going to be seen as still yet the son of Yah, and so are we. It's not going to be me, a female of Yah, or the daughter of Yah. No, we're going to be all the sons of Yah. Okay? So we missed the power in Genesis chapter 1. So the first thing they will say, well, what do you think was missing? That what you say that was what happened in religion that believes in the Bible? What happened that you got one book, but you got a million different denominations and different beliefs? And what happened was they didn't have the power. Woo-wee! They in trouble. They didn't have the power. They didn't know the power. They didn't get to know the power. And another thing, that will be one. And they didn't get to know who the son of Yah was. That's why Yeshua stepped back and said to Peter, flesh and blood did not reveal that to you. Father Yah from the kingdom told you that, because I know I didn't give it to you. That's really pretty much what he was telling Peter. And that's what made Peter gain the keys, because he stepped into the realm of the spirit while he was what? Flesh. To what? He gained the keys because the keys were always connected to the power. He was able to identify the power of the Father's right hand in the face of the Son of Man. Praise the mighty Yah. That's where we are today with this word love. Sister Deborah said at this here laptop, and I keyed on to go live. And when I keyed on to go live, as I began to speak, I kept saying to myself, I can't do this. I'm too tired. I'm so weak. I can't do this. But when I start to get chills in my legs, going up and down my legs, and then it started getting it in I'm ready now, y'all. I'm fired up and I'm fired down. Okay? So what he's telling me is, you are not going to sit and tell them about the tools when it comes down to the word love. Because the tools come from the kingdom, love is not detached. That means so Sister Deborah can't sit here and give you some sort of breakdown of love outside of the flesh. We're going to go on and give that word love to the flesh, said the Most High Yah. And this is what it spells. Ebo. That's what it spells backwards. Okay? So I was going to add the twos in it. But when I was going to add the twos, Sister Deborah would have got to it, breaking it down. But I just thank the Father for intervening. Because he did it for me. He said, you say you tired and you sleepy and you weak. I'm going to give you some energizing. I'm going to give you something that's going to energize you. How about this? You ain't going to pull up with those two loves. Because ain't now one of them loves came from the kingdom. This is what this whole topic is about. This whole topic is about explain Yah's definition of love. Guess what? I just got shot down and y'all didn't even see it. See, this is why I was saying to you all, you got to understand the realm in which I am coming from. Okay? Y'all just shot me down and then one of y'all saw it. I didn't see it coming either. But he shot me all the way down. Why? Look at my topic. Look at my the topic of this message. Look at it. It says, explain Yah's definition of love. I'm going to say it 3 times. It says, explain Yah's definition of love. Here go the 3rd time. Explain Yah's definition of love. How did sister get shot down? Sister Deborah said, definition of Yah's love. Y'all just shot me down about telling me ain't no love in no kingdom. Better pull that out, baby. That didn't come down in the tubes. I didn't send that down in the tubes. So take me out of one of those. Give it to the flesh. They can keep it. They've been portraying it anyway. They've been portraying love. Oh, I love you. Oh, love this and love that and love that. He said, let them keep their love, Deborah. You can pull a lot of things from the kingdom, but this is one I'm not going to let you do. So what he did is he just shot me down on my title. The Father shot me down. Why? Because you can't define Yah's love. That's why y'all missed it. You get what I'm saying? He's sitting here telling me, and then he gonna treat me like a little baby and go start giving me chills all in my legs and all in my arm, and I'm feeling good now. You know why? Because he's teaching this message and y'all don't even know it. Because he shot mine down. You ain't finna teach them nothing that's gonna explain my definition of love, because love didn't come from the kingdom. Not as man's definition of love. So therefore, if they don't have my love comes from the kingdom. Their love comes from their flesh. Let them keep love. That's why Tina Turner said what love had to do with it. Really, she knew. Because it's a man-made word. And like I said, when you tackle it, you're tackling it backwards this here. You already see evil in it already. Evil. You can pronounce it, but when you got that EV right there, that just tells you a story right there. So I want to tell y'all right now, I just want to thank you, Most High Yah, for shooting me down. Because it sure felt good. Praise the mighty Yah. Because now I got to bump off of my own topic. Because I wanted to identify what this word love is that is defined in the bosom of the Father. Because of what he's shown and taught me, I figured I'm going to bring it to them and give it to them. How you going to do that? First and foremost, the word love, we got to bump it as twos. See, I was going to pull up with the twos. And he said, you're not going to pull up with no two. You can pull up one and you can leave that word love to the flesh. That's why they don't know how to love each other. How are they going to take the way they loving on the earth and make it the love of the kingdom? That right there tell you that, Deborah. They can't make the love of the earth and how they portray love on the earth and try to use it as a secondary of the love of Yah. Yah said, "Don't come up with that. He's not in the kingdom with that. We are bent up and down on that word love." So that's a word that man has put in there. And even though you can find it in Hebrew, but you're going to find a definition totally different. Now, I'm glad he beat me down on that right quick. I'm glad he did, because now the next step is this. I would like each and every last one of you all in the live chat to look up right now, and I'm going to hold out for a minute and get me something to drink. I want you to look up the word love, Love, in what they call Hebrew. Look up the word love in Hebrew and give me two of its words in its definition. And it's alova in Hebrew. Alova in Hebrew. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Alova. Alava. That's it. Alava. I think that's how it's pronounced in Hebrew. The word love. Now, it ain't about whether it's Hebrew or not, or English. It's got to pour. Y'all want you to pull a mystery out of this yourselves. So I'm gonna step away and get me something to drink, and then I want to hear each one of you all give me one or two words that define love in Hebrew. Love in Hebrew. Please. Okay, let me see. Even if I have two people, I'm just wanting you to look up the word love, Love, and look it up in Hebrew. And we're going to get to this. Oh, I messed up my, and I'll give you a minute. Anybody? Powerade. I should know. This is Gatorade. It's not good for you. Don't drink this. It's not good for you. That's Gatorade. It's not good for you. Now we are here again. Can I have each and every one, if you can define? Okay, we got someone in the live chat. Okay, define love, Love, in Hebrew. Why do my son wait to... Just take it out of English. And you can it just we're just trying to define it. A barrack. Now, did you all look it up in English? I mean, not in English, in Hebrew. The simple question was, pull it up. Okay. Oh. We're doing something here. Everybody can participate in this. Okay. And it looks like and when I saw it, I was like, no, because that's the last thing I did. And when I first done this here topic about 3 years ago, I could not believe that. Let me see. Okay. Affection or care. We got affection, care, affection, sexuals, or otherwise. See how it's surrounding everybody's love in Hebrew definition is surrounding affectionated or sexual or affection or care or sexual or care, strong affection for one another. Now, how is that word y'all just picked up? Sexual, affectionate, in a way that affectionate and sexual, you got to make sure you understand if those two words are in this definition of which I are looking up in Hebrew, where's all this detached to the Father from the kingdom. So now I see what the Father is saying. I get now why he's saying the word love is not, okay, is not from the kingdom. So I cannot use that to define him or to bring a definition regarding him. Okay, I'm going to help y'all out a little bit here, and I want to see what you're going to do with this. Okay, I just dropped the word. Anybody in the live chat, that word, look it up in Hebrew, the definition in Hebrew where you could read what it means. What is the definition of that word? Sister Deborah just dropped it in. Right. Exactly. Now, I just dropped that word. You see that word I just dropped? I pronounce it a holavan, a holavan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, which is Hebrew for the word love. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. See, it's getting good in here already. Now, see how, now I want y'all to keep going. Now I gave you the word. And bear, Strong leader. Head gives. See, somebody already done got it. But I want to see if they're gonna bounce on it. Okay. Rooted and Rising TV has come real sharp into it. Because I already see it. That just showing how it already changing its definition. Because all the other definition has to do with sexual and affection and affectual. What one of them had, what affectionated and appear and you know, all of these things like something of flesh. You get what I'm saying? Let's see here. I just put it up. I want you all to look up what Sister Deborah just uploaded in Hebrew. We have someone in the live chat, Rooted and Rising TV. Already there, already. Just come in and pour it on in. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just waiting on you all. So, Sister Deborah, the word that I uploaded. No, it's not. It's a word I just uploaded. If you could, when you go to your Google or on your phone or if you're on your laptop, on your computer, just put that word in there and ask them to give you the meaning. And then we can pull forward. Because that's the way last night when I was, what time, 2:30 in the morning, last night, this morning, that's what was said in my spirit. Have them look it up. Okay? Now, we can look it up many ways. But when we finish looking it up, I'm trying to get you all to go on and look it up so you can see how it's going to switch from what you had at first. All right, that's what I'm. Now you got it. Now you come on, pull on up, pull on up. See, that's what I'm saying. To give, you got it, you got it, you got it. Now, when you see that word and you take that word and put it in English it's saying, that means in English it's saying other things. And if you notice the things that it is actually saying, you know, it has to do, it can, you can put care for Yah, but Yah bigger than that as care for man. Because if you take the care of the flesh, how can you measure the care of the flesh to be likened to the care of Yah? You got it. To give. Wayne, you got it. To give. That's the true definition of the Father in the kingdoms. That's the true definition of the Father in the kingdom. And the world trying to detach him to its definition of love. And he wants you to understand. Right, you had it too, but you had it too. Rooted in Rising, you had it too. It's given. That's it. It's Yah's give, right? That's it. So when he said, I was doing, I said, how am I going to start it off? And I said, okay, ask them in the live chat to find out the definition of this word love outside of English. He said Hebrew, but you can also step up outside of because I think it was the real language outside of Hebrew. What is it? Arbad? I can't even pronounce it. But I know it's a language, and it means similar to the same thing as Hebrew. So I see it, and it makes me feel good because we got two here already. Then picked it up. You see that word give? Everybody, I want you to see the word to give, okay? Or Yah gives. And it says, reveal himself to the house / family. Exactly. That, did you all know? Let me say this here. And each and every last one of you all need to do your search. You need to go into it and see. Take it out of English. All the ones that's matching English, this is why he said, don't come telling them love is in the kingdom. Ain't no love in no kingdom. Not the definition of the way they have created it on the earth. So you got to understand. Now, hear me now, y'all. This is what he's saying. He said, Deborah, you bring down he said, you bring down the tools from the kingdom. You teach that. But I'm not going to allow you to bring down the tools in love. Because I'm not in no love. Okay? Pull out and do the teaching so they'll see who I am. And guess what, baby? That's why marriage is never going to be what it should have been. Because they didn't understand. It's not the love of the definition of the world to the Father. It's the Father trying to get us to understand we left his definition of who he is. And because we left his definition of who he is, we don't even know how to care for each other in the way that he's speaking of us to care for each other. And that is give and gave. Just imagine if a woman and a man could give and gave each other. Were he weak, she strong. Were she strong, he weak. What are they doing? They're touch tagging, making sure what? They get the fullness and the wholeness within themselves. Can't nobody on the outside touch them. Why? Because where he's weak, she's strong. Where she's strong, he's weak. They touch tagging, they giving and giving each other what all is needed for a marriage. Father say, I'm giving gave. This stuff that they call love, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Even if they do take it in the Hebrew, it's ahaba. It means to give and gave. So if they want to put me in that category, then pull that bad boy down. But if you ain't going to put me in the proper category, don't put me and detach me to no love. And y'all going to find out that all these years that you thought you knew who he is. So that's why I was telling y'all, I explained to y'all over and over and over, when you step into a realm and say you awaken, these are the things you should be awakening to, you guys. This is what we should be awakening to. Things that's carry light. So he wants me to come to you and show you based on your own instructions and direction book, and the Ruach gonna back it up and bring it into play so you can understand it. I told y'all the two things that man missed that caused so many people to be coming out of one book, but a million different, not a million, but let's say 1,000 different religion and beliefs, and all millions of different interpretation of one book. That's because they left the power. Because the power is the only thing that's going to teach you all things. So they did not stick with the power. And he said, if you did not understand Genesis chapter 1, you can't catch the power. Because that's where the power was. And we missed it. And this is how the world all over, not just the United States, can all have one book, which is the King James Bible, and have a million and different interpretations of what it's saying, but thousands of different religions based on one book. This is why he said they left the power back in Genesis. So he wants me to say, not only did you leave the power, you never knew who he really was. Because he is not love as man can define it on the four corners of the world. He has nothing to do with that in the way they defined it. Because their definition of love is not his. His definition of love is what Sister Deborah was about to show you. Okay, let us go. Okay, so this is why a mother don't understand the level of who she should be to her children. A man don't understand the level of who he should be to his children. Y'all gave you something in your womb, man. Now give what y'all gave you in your womb. Now y'all want you to what? Give that is in your womb something. Woman, y'all gave that which is in man's womb, and he allowed it to be brought into you, and you gave that which man put in you. You gave it something. You gave it nourishment. You gave it this and you gave it that. And when it's born, then you give it something else. You see, we so stuck on stupid, we think it's love. And the Father said, no, it's give and gave. If everybody knew that he is give and gave, then that means what? We are give and gave. We have to have that mindset of being an individual like unto him. From the kingdom, he is give and gave. And this is even in a mother's and daughter relationship, in a father and son relationship, in a marriage, in a friendship. What makes a good friendship? When you can give and gave each other, where one is weak, the other one is strong. You can go to your friend and tell them anything, and they can tell you anything. Y'all trading, y'all giving each other what each other needs to be best friends and be close and be knitted together. It's a give and gave. And because y'all want to put everything in the name of love, you didn't get to see what y'all really is. Give and gave. He said one thing. He said, I'm gonna score a little bit somewhere in the deep woods now. I was heard in the instructions and direction book, give me your what? Your heart. Give me your mind, your strength, what your spirit. What you want that for? Because I owned it anyway. So I'm just wanting you in the flesh. Turn it loose and give it to me in the spirit. People think he talking about they natural mind, they spirit. I mean, not they spirit, they soul or they flesh. Give it to him. No, baby. Somebody went and said it's one of the main commandments. But y'all said all I was telling them, Deborah, give me what I already own. Just letting they flesh know. Check. I was like, wait a minute, but this in here 3 or 4 times. Give me your heart, mind, strength, and spirit. It got in their soul, but you know, with Sister Deborah, I say spirit. Okay? So there are things he said. First, he's telling us to get it back to him. Why? Who you telling that to? Who you telling to give you my heart, my mind, my spirit, and my strength? Who is you telling to give you that? I'm telling you in the flesh to give me what I already own of you in the spirit. When you come to understand that, then you'll step into a different realm of many things. You see why people can't go past the bar? It's because they can't even come up on it, because it's so holy in the way the Father has sunk everything down. That's why he always saying, narrow is the gate, and very few is going to find it. You see what I'm saying? Because we're looking in the natural, and he's holding up in the spirit, waiting at the narrow gate, at the end of it. I'm here. I'm life. I'm right here. Because we're looking in the natural way of doing things. And the Father said, come on, pull up in the spirit realm. So the Father wants me to bring it to you, y'all. We finna land into this, and you're going to find out. You're going to find out. What does it say? Y'all so love the world. Wait a minute. Love? What love got to do with it? Nothing. Man, place that there. Because they really wanted us to detach to their definition. I don't know if my glasses show. I ain't gonna let that bother me. Their definition of love. But Yah's love is what? Give. Now watch this here. Watch how the power of who he really is backs up and out and take it out of the place and out of his order. Watch it. I'm just giving you one snippet. I don't know why he's taking me this route. That's not my plan, but I'm gonna go there anyway. Okay, you know I'm gonna be obedient. Yah so loved the world. Love, Deborah, let's say that's man-made. Yah so loved the world. How did he define him loving the world? That he gave. with it when he gave you something. You see, this is why he was saying, this make a lot of sense of why he was saying you can't pull that word down and no matter which way it go and not have the proper definition. That's why love is not accepted in the kingdom, because it's not. Now you can take it in another language and get the true definition of it, which is give. And that's what you see backing up. So when you see him saying, Yah so loved the world that he gave. Wait a minute, what you mean gave? Wait a minute. Your love is gave? Yes, it always was. It is not me in love. It's them putting love. I am giving gave. What is my actions of their word? Because they put their word in their love. My actions is to give or gave. That's why it says, Yah so loved the world that he gave. Woo! That's the action of what they put in there, the word love. And when y'all start pulling up love, y'all was pulling up sex and care and what else? Sexual, some other type of sex and sexual whatever. And that's the definition of how the world and in their way of speaking have took this power of love. That's why you get and you stand up and you stand at the and get married and you saying your vows and everything. That's why Yah knows that when I'm putting them together, it's called Deborah equally yoke. I'm giving him her and she getting him. They equal in me, so I'm bringing them equally yoked. You see, that's the one he said, let no man put you as under, meaning come in between that or divide it. Because I put it together, don't let them do it. I gave you him, he, and I gave her you. That's equally yoked. It's when y'all give and gave each one of y'all one another in him. That's equally yoked. That's the marriage this world's supposed to be standing on. And we standing on this worldly marriage and sitting here battling all on this devil platform about marriage that Satan deals with. Come on now, let's go. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 26. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 26. We missed Yah'S give and gave. This is another touch of what he said in the end, knowledge shall increase. 99.15 billion would say knowledge of the world. Y'all want you to know knowledge of what is spirit and what is truth. That's the knowledge stepping in the end days. Okay? So it's things that been here all this time that existed from the kingdom that you're going to find out in these end days. And if you really think about it, it's going to be kind of sad. No, don't you say sad. It's going to be kind of touching. Why? Because you're going to say, I lived all these years and didn't know that. See? He always got a ram in the bush. You see? While we still trying to make it the way we say it is. Y'all already had the end, the beginning to the end, and the end to the beginning. It's finishing here. We still down here clowning on the things that we think things are. Okay? So here in Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 26. And it reads, verse 26 says, for Yah giveth to a man that is good in his sight. Who? Wait a minute, hold up. Where's love? You so love the world. You see? Yah so loved the world. Think of that, y'all. Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Now, did he really give it to the world and then tell you the Satan come down here to deceive the whole world and really gave that to Satan? But yet he comes down and give you his son, the whole world. He loved the whole world. He created the whole world. But in Genesis chapter 3 and 15, he said, Satan, you're going to have your seeds and I'm going to have mine. I tell you what, I done put a division already. And your seeds ain't going to be my seeds. And my seeds ain't going to be your seeds. Come on now. Where is that love? The whole world. Come on now. You see? That he gave his only begotten son. He gave all of who he is. That was his power, his word, and his spirit that came down here with the Son of Man. So they can walk that one mission to redeem those who got out of the bosom of the Father on a different track to bring them back. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so here it go, y'all. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 26. For Yah give it. Wait a minute, where the give come in? To a man that is good in his sight, wisdom and knowledge and joy. Wait a minute, where is love at? I want to know where, wait a minute, Father Yah, where is love? That's why you can't bring that down from heavens, Deborah. They lying on me. I'm give and gave. I'm not love. I'm give and gave. You see what this just said, didn't you, Deborah? It says, for Yah give it to a man that is good in his sight. Whose sight? Yah's sight. First and foremost, he gives him what? Wisdom, and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner, he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before Yah. This also is vanity and vexation of spirits. Now this is solid, okay? But notice each time it said, and to heap up that he may give to him that is good. See, y'all missed it. Y'all just missed that first verse. He just showed you that I'm about giving and gave. Even that first verse when I said, Yah so loved the world, how did he love the world? Oh, I gave. You see? It shows the heart of people. Did y'all know that? Did you know the way that you give to people shows you really who your heart is and really who you are? Because Yah is give and gave. Let me give y'all my testimony. 58 years old, and I was sitting up in the living room, just sitting around, just sitting there, just relaxing. And all of a sudden, I went into a real emotional cry, and I fell onto the floor. I ain't gonna lie about it. I laid on the floor, and I just cried, and And I knew already, he said to me, Deborah, your tears are like icicles to me. That's to tell me all that hooping and hollering, that's in the flesh, baby. Don't pour that on me. I don't deal with that. You know that. So wipe them eyes and come here and come on, talk to me. So I'm on this floor, and then I'm just sitting here I don't know how to say no. I don't know why I'm just a giver. I give my whole everything. I give, meaning I always give myself. And I always knew it ever since I was a little girl. I knew I was that type of person. And that's when I was able to come to you all. But this was like 4 years ago. He said to me, he said, Deborah, you're liking to me. And when he said that, this sister felt so good. He said, Deborah, you're liking to me. I'm giving gave. Don't cry. That's how I am. Look how they do me. Look how they treat me. I created the whole world and everything they're in, but look how they treat me. So it's okay. You're just like your father. And I got up and started wiping my eyes. And I was 58 years old when he told me that. So you see, everything, he spoon feed us all, even his servants. He don't give us all and everything at one time. He give us a little here and a little here and a little here. But boy, that day, I always tell the people I was 58. He showed a lot of things to me when I was 58. And he told me I was just like he is. He was giving gave. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Did y'all know I did not really fully get it when he said that? I did not fully. I just like that idea, the idea that he said, I'm likened to him. My mom said, you'll give your head away. When I was coming up as a teenager, my mom said, you'll give your head away if it wasn't screwed onto you. That's what she used to say to me. Because I always was a person that would help and give. But when the Father sealed me on that floor, they said, wipe your tears. I don't go that route. He did. He told me strictly like a disciplined father. And that's the reason why I say to many men, if you just set your tail up under that ruach and let him teach you how to be what he created you to be, which is a man and a father, an uncle, a brother, a friend, you see, a granddad. If you just knew him in the way that he can teach you how. He didn't tell you to go to another man to teach you how to be a man. He didn't tell you to your mama gonna teach you how to be man. He wanted you to know he's gonna teach you because he's the only way, he's the only one know the way of what a man is created to be and is and what he's for. The will is in him, not in another man. He don't know his way. Not in another woman. She don't know her way. But in Yah do he know the way in which a man and a woman shall go. That's the only way we're going to know the way. That's why he says, seek ye me. I am the creator of thee and all that thou seest. But just think. He sat there, he said, Deborah, look what all I gave. And he told me at that time, did you know I was giving gave? And I said, no, I didn't know. He said, Deborah, I'm not love, as the world says it, on the four corners. He said, I'm giving gave. And I was like, so that's why you like that. See, I didn't know, y'all. I thought something was wrong with me because I see a need and I help. And I thought that was, it's not something, what he was sharing with me, Deborah, this is not a flesh thing that you have. You have me. This is me. So when you're worried about why you like this and how you put up with other people who's never there for you, look, you like I am. You're mine. He had to break that. I was 58. Now you tell me, ain't that a long time? 58 years old. Hey, wait a minute. He could have told me that when I was 4. Why wait till I'm 58? 58. He sure did. Now listen to this. When you look at Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 26, for Yah give it to a man that is good in his sight, wisdom, knowledge, and joy. We looking for all this in our own. We're getting on YouTube looking at it. Well, I'm gonna listen to this person. This person gonna tell me, and they gonna tell me he's a pastor, he's a bishop, he's an evangelist, or he baptized. Y'all, all of that is trash. Because they ain't giving you no food for your spirit in such a midnight hour as this. So here he goes. And we enter Ecclesiastes. This is Solomon. And then he says, and knowledge, and he gives you joy. Well, watch this here. Did y'all know joy is not something that you have 24? Because I said to the father, let me see, how old was I? Probably about 30, about 32, 33, in between 32 and 34. I was going to work and I always hear this here, European lady, oh, I have so much joy every morning. And I said, Father, is that joy that she has? How could she have so much joy? Every day, 24. And I used to hear this lady every morning about how much joy she had. I said, I sure like to know the joy she talking about she had. Do you all know it was a week later? I was at the post office where I was working. And it's this thing that came up on me. It was unbelievable. It was a feeling and an action behind it. And I was like, what is this? That whole day. And you know, the Spirit said to me, Deborah, that's that joy. You know, that joy you said you wanted to get a taste of, that's that joy. I said, whoa, this feels so good. And boy, when that joy came off, I was back down to square one. I knew that joy was gone. I was able. He was wanting me to get a taste of what joy is. And here he says, for Yah, in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 26, for Yah give it to a man that is good in his sight, wisdom, knowledge, and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail, to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before Yah. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. You see? So I'm saying to you all, you see twice what he said he give it. What is love in this? Let's go again. Let's go to James. James chapter 1 and verse 5. When I get to James chapter 1 and verse 5, it reads, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah. Let him ask of Yah. If he's lacking wisdom, watch this here. Let him ask of Yah, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Look at it twice. James 1 James chapter 1 verse 5. He said give and give in twice in one verse. Same way up in Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 26. He said it twice in one verse. You don't see no love in none of this. Y'all explained to me that he was giving gave. Now, then what did Sister Deborah do with that? When he explained that to me, I brought it forth. That's just how long ago it was. You see, I'm telling you, I brought it forth as a message. You see, but everyone is not going to embrace it because they're not in that lane of what is called spirit and truth. That's why I say unto you, what I'm saying is not so much as taking what I'm saying for what you would say when, okay, should I believe it or should I not? Read it for yourself. But you still stuck because you still have to have the ruach to be able to show you why give and gave is in here more than the word love. And why give and gave was from the beginning. He said, Deborah, when I started with my word and my power was backing up my word. Let's go there. And what he's speaking of is Genesis chapter 1. Now this wasn't on my plan, but this is on his. My plan is his plan. I put it like that. In Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3, the Father wants you to see what you cannot see. Okay? Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. Now, the question was last night when I was battling with everything I was reading, and in a way, the reason why I was battling with it is I wanted to keep it strictly spiritual. Now, when you look at Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3, you look and you hear Yah say, Yah said, let. He was talking to his power, meaning bringing forth. Let. If you look up the word let, you're going to find out let means give. Ooh, Deborah, you're going to get in trouble. You better stop. You're going to get in trouble. And give, he gave. Give and gave is Yah. Now here we go in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. And Yah said, let there be light. Give light. You see? And there was what? Light. So what did he do? He spoke it. His power brought it forth because he said what? Let mean give me light. He's talking to his own right hand. Pull up light. Okay? And what happened? And there was light. Now, this is what I was battling with last night. I say now, but everything you give and gave, you gave it for us. He said, now, very good, Deborah. You think I created light for me? He is the light. In his kingdom is light itself. So who is this light that he's creating it? Who is he giving it to? See how y'all missed him? He was in give and gave all the time. The whole Genesis is telling you how he gave and gived us. And we missed it. This is the power of what he was saying in Genesis. If they missed Genesis, they missed the whole book. Because who he was not love. Notice it says, Oh, he so loved the word that he gave you his son. But what about all this other stuff he gave us? It was his will, but he didn't need light. He didn't need the affirmity. He didn't need the stars, the moon. He didn't need it. Well, who's he giving to for? Who don't know for? Who don't give for? What would he give him know for? See? Because y'all didn't see him giving and gave y'all. All this time in Genesis, all this was about giving and gave. Even when it came down to giving you his breath, that brought in you a spirit. And he molded you from the dirt in which he told his power to create it. And then he said the mist to come upon it based on his power, bringing the mist up out from under the ground. And he formed man. He gave man life. And what happened? They still don't see it. This is showing Sister Deborah right here how far away people really are from anything. So when people come telling y'all, oh, we awake and we coming to the knowledge, we coming to the truth. How many years? About 5 years I told them. And I have been saying, you ain't awakened to nothing but stupidity. This is why Sister Deborah said this. You ain't even awakened to spirit and truth, the reality of who this creator is. But yet you say he the most high God. He the most high God. He the this, he the this, he the this. But you don't even know who he is. All in Genesis 1 was give and gave, y'all. He gave us the earth and formed our nasty bodies with the dust of it that he gave. He told Adam and Eve, I put herbs and all of this down there, seeds and all of this. Wait a minute, hold up. What you doing with them stars and the moon? Who are they for? Deborah, this shows you the mindset of those that I created, how off balance they are. They never thought when what all that you see, you go out in your right now, midnight hour, go out into your front door and look out and tell me he don't exist. Everything you see, even your tail, he created. So what do you mean, Deborah? What did he gave you? A body, a spirit, and his life, his breath. He gave you that, child. How do you think you got that breath? You get what I'm saying? This is how far people are from anything talking about I'm awakening. I'm awake, and you ain't awakened to nothing but stupidity. And still today, 2024, still don't know it. This is what he was meaning in Genesis, you all. I told you all in Genesis, not only, he said if they missed Genesis 1, Deborah, they missed the whole book. And I have lived to see that, y'all. I see it. And that's why I speak the way that I speak, in the boldness of what he has given me and what he has taught me. So you just don't understand. You think he made the light and the stars for him? All of it is his will. It was his will to create it and give it unto you. That's why you can't thank him for what you have. Because you think it's how you got it. Let me continue. So in James chapter 1 and verse 5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah, that give it to all men liberally and upbraided not, and it shall be given him. See, y'all missed it, y'all. Where's love? What do love have to do with it? Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs about to say something. Proverbs finna say it too. Now see, you remember I was telling you all how you have the tools in wisdom, you have the tools in knowledge, and you have the tools in understanding. Sister Deborah only speaking one. I'm speaking the understanding of the Ruach HaKodesh. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the tools. But when it came down to love, he said, no, don't pull that down from heaven, because that didn't come from heaven. I'm giving gave. They want to have love, let them play with love. I'm giving gave. And because we never knew that all that we have is what he has given, gave us. What do love have to do with it? But what they did is, how can we hide his identity? How must we hide his identity? And we got to make sure they never understand their spirit. Because if they understand their spirit, then they'll know they got the image of him. He is a spirit. So we got to hide their spirit and we'll put soul. We got to hide his identity, give and gave, and we'll put love. We got to definitely hide that power, or else they're going to get it for sure. That's how messed up from the floor up you all are. You missed it. And that's why he said, it's over, Deborah, it's finished. I ain't going to come back down and read. Because it was finished in the kingdom. What makes you think it's going to be still cutting up on the floor up down here your way? It's not going to happen. Okay, so here we in Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 6. Now, the way that Sister Deborah is explaining this is so powerful. You're going to see snakes slither in and slither out. Let them go out, because y'all didn't understand Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. He already told you the snake will get away from the spiritual seed of Yah, because he don't want that heel to crush his head. And I don't blame him. Get your tail in and out. That's why they quickly get in and get out, because they can't handle nothing in the spirit and truth of the whole matter. And that's why they don't teach it to the people on the platform. They don't teach it. They ain't gonna teach you. So let's rumble, y'all. We finna rumble in this thing, and you're gonna find out when Sister Deborah finished what do love has to do with this. And the Father said, Deborah, when you teaching them tools, don't bring that word in it. Not even in any other language outside. If you bring it in any other language, it'll be okay. But you got to bring my identity. And even when it said ahavo, love in Hebrew, ahavo or something like that, meaning I give. See, the meaning of it is I give. We get away from who he is when we don't understand that's just who he is. That's why you wonder why he gave his son. Because they put love, letting you think that there was something detached to it, but didn't let your sense didn't key in the action. Oh, why you got love here? When the action is telling you what he did, he gave his only begotten son. So why is love here? See how men do that? See how they, and I'm not talking about men as in male. I'm just talking about we as in the flesh. You remember. Let me show you an example. I'm going to go back here again. And I'm going to have to hurry up with this here. I shouldn't say it like that, but let me show y'all something right quick. Okay, in Romans chapter 1. In Romans chapter 1, watch this here, watch this here. Watch this here. Verse 18, Romans chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven. Woo-wee! Against, wait a minute, Father, y'all, you saying something. You done went into my protocol. Now you going over to the deep. Watch what he said. Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven. From where? From heaven. From where? From heaven. Against all ungodly and unrighteous men. Okay, now watch this here. Who hold. Now watch this here. Who hold the truth in unrighteous. Now watch this here. Verse 14, verse 19. Romans chapter 1, verse 19. Because that which was made be known of Yah was already manifested in them. For Yah has showed it unto them. You see what I'm saying? The serpent has won. And it ain't like he won what he wasn't given to win, but he won in a sense, deceiving the whole world. He did it. He did it. Let's go back to Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 6. For Yah giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, I did a video and I was explaining to y'all, understanding is Yah. That's his teaching. It falls under understanding. That's why he said, in all you're getting, get understanding. Because it all falls under understanding. Okay? He is understanding. That's why he said, get me. I'm understanding. They don't know about that ever, but. So when you see in Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 6, it says, and Yah giveth wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Where is love, Father Yah? Where ain't you giving nobody love? Where in any one of these books can you find him giving you love? To give love towards somebody else. Everybody want to say he loved. But why can't you teach me how to love if you are love? Why is it no one on the earth has this love that they say that you are? Because the Satan deceived the whole world to believe that it was the word love. And that's why the world defined love totally out of order. When y'all define love as I that gives and gave. He's the one that give and gave, y'all. And this is why, you know how if you had any issue that you was battling with, say for instance on your workplace or at your job, in your family, in anything, that's one of the main keys. It ain't love, it's give and gave. No one knew how to trade with each other. Give and gave. You know how people say we have to learn to respect one another's opinion? That's a trade, y'all. That's a trade. Give and gave. It's you giving them their opinion and they giving you yours. Y'all just got different opinion because they don't want to receive the idea of that's how simple y'all made it for us. Let everything rest on give and gave, but we don't want to do that. We want to rule this whole thing out of what we think is love. And this is why you see people marrying, befriending people. Even I'm gonna show you the sickest one. Let me show the sickest one on the face of the earth. Anybody in the live chat? What is one of the sickest one on the earth? One of the sickest love on the earth is when human beings giving more love to what is called a flesh eater and blood licker, a dog or a cat. We give it all of that, what we call love to animals over human beings. Man on the corner don't have nothing to eat, but you got hospital, dental, and your pet's got a room to stay in. They don't even live outside no more. I don't know if y'all know that or not. They might take them for a walk. They keep them in their bed. I don't know what's that deal. I do know, but I ain't going to talk about it. You see, that's the type of love they think. Well, see, long as you can control and manipulate and take what they were created to be from them and strip them from it and put you in it and put your love in them, and now you're loving them because you done took everything by nature y'all gave them. You took it from them. You did them like you did the slave. You destroyed their ability to be what y'all created them to be. I get outside, these darn dogs. It's three on the left. There's three dogs on the right. There's two dogs on the left. There's a dog in this yard, and there's a dog in this yard, and then my dog. Do you know them dogs are so dumb they can't even tell you if somebody's creeping up on you? You gotta know that these animals can't even discern if somebody is on their turf till it's too late. They cannot even smell you because you done gave them your carpet, your house, to where they don't know how to use their senses because they need that outside air to keep their sense, they opening in their nose and what their ability to sense stuff. Smell, I'm speaking of, they took it from them. They took their tails, they took their top, they took their ears, they took their vocal, their box where they born. Did y'all didn't know that? Because I'm sitting here wondering, why nobody you hear no dogs barking? Till people start telling me, no, damn it, people take them to the doctor and have that surgery. So, what? They took everything from a blood leader and a flesh eater that was created and made them and humanized them the best way they can and gave them what they call love. That's one of the 6 loves, y'all. That's one of them. Okay. So in Job got something to say about this here. Job got something to say. Job chapter 1, verse 21. Job chapter 1, verse 21. And he said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, praise the mighty Yah, and naked shall I return hither. Yah gave, and Yah take it away. Yah gave, and Yah take it away. Blessed be the name of Yah. Love ain't got nothing in there. Yah give it, he called it gave. That's who Yah is. Yah is give/gave. And the reason why so much wicked-hearted people, and that's how one way you can measure really who you think you are, is by your heart and how you give. And how you have gave. It tells the truth of the whole matter. Because, see, that's a characteristic of the Father. Give and gave. Okay? So I like that. Let me say that again. Job. In Job chapter 1 and verse 21, it says, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return hither. Yah gave, and Yah take away. Blessed be the name of Yah. Yah gave what? Life, the breath. Yah take it away. Blessed be his name. Blessed be his name. Because he that gave also is he that take it away. But blessed still be his name. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor rust in uncertain riches, but in living Yah, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. Who giveth? Yah giveth us richly all things, not just finances. Okay? Everything. No, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Where's love in this then, Father? Y'all? Where's the word love? Where is love in this? You ain't gonna find it. You ain't gonna find it. And then many times after this here message, you're gonna, when you start to read and you start to see that word love, you're gonna see the action word follow that. And you can say, that lady was telling the truth. Because when you see love, then in a few more words or in that same verse, you're gonna see give or gave. See how the awakening, they call themselves awakened to what? Okay, now 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they may be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertainties, riches, but in the living Yah, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. See, why it said that? Because it's trying to tell you all it was never intended for them to have become high-minded. But that's what even a few change in someone's pocket does to them. It takes them all the way over on the deep. It even takes them so deep over to where they don't even want to be friends with you or be in the family anymore because I got more than you got. That's how riches messed up the flesh mind. Okay? So I like this because it said, who giveth us richly all things. So it's not just talking about money or finances. He's talking about all things to enjoy. Yah gives it there. He what? He give it. Okay? It doesn't say because he loved you, he give you. And all these verses and every one. And like I say, next time you start to read and you start to see about Yah love this, love that, you're going to see in that paragraph, in many of them, you're going to see the paragraph in that verse. You're going to also, or in that same paragraph, not that paragraph, that same, no, in that verse or the next verse, you're going to see the word give or gave. You can say, now, how did they do that? How did that old lady know about that? I'm telling y'all, it's because we run around here talking we know him. How could you have his ruach in you and don't know these things? I did not know that. I knew about give and gave because he gave me that at 58. You see what I'm saying? But to not know that he is give and gave, okay, I did not know. So I can't say that if you don't know, then I can't put that on you because I didn't know he was give and gave until I knew he was give and gave, but not to the way that he explained it to me. So I didn't know the fullness. Okay. So when I get to Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 7, I get to Corinthians chapter 1, First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 7. When I get to First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 7, it says, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but Yah that giveth the increase. Giveth the increase. So what is happening is we put those that are plant, and those that water, we put them on a pedestal. When we should be more focused on he that giveth the increase, not he that planted or he that watereth, but he that gives the increase. Give it the increase. Give it the increase. Because you wait, you send somebody to plant something, you stand in your tail right there and they to plant something and they ain't going nowhere in you. Then another one, you waiting another 2 and 3 years, someone watering it, refreshing things in you and watering it, and you still ain't went nowhere. Why? Because the one, you have to wait for Yah to give the increase. It is Yah that gives the increase of wisdom and of knowledge. That's why I try to tell y'all, it's not because you listening to Sister Deborah. It's not because you on YouTube and you watching all these people. What is it you're supposed to increase in? It's not the plant. It's not the water. It's Yah does the increase. They miss that too, Deborah. Over your head. Because he's the increaser. So when you finish standing up under somebody on YouTube, because you thinking they worthy to be liked and subscribed, and then you start to praise them in that order, and then you start to financially bless them in that order, like they giving you something in the spirit, and all they giving you is trash in the flesh. And y'all stand there and say, Deborah, I ain't increased nothing. So anybody can plant anything in you. Anybody can pull up and water your tail. But until he pull up the increaser, you stuck on stupid. See, because the increase is the Ruach HaKodesh. And until he come in you and increase, then all this planting in you and watering in you is vain and vexed. You under the flesh. Okay? He gives because he is the giver. He is give and gave. That's his definition of who he is. Okay? Ephesians chapter 5, verse 2. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 2. And walk in love. Do you see that? You see it? Walk, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 2. And walk in love as Christ himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice to Yah for a sweet smelling Savior. Now watch this here. Look at Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 2. And walk in love as Christ himself. Christ is the power of the Father's right hand. So it says, walk in love as Christ himself for us, an offering. What is an offering? He He was the offering. He was given as the offering, and a sacrifice was he what? Given to a sacrifice to Yah for a sweet smelling savior. You see what's missing in that offering? That's a form of giving. He offered up. He is offered up as a sacrifice to Yah for a sweet smelling savior. But then it says here, and walk in love. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Now, if it's saying walk in love. So now we got to see where the error is at. How are you going to walk in the word love? You looked up the definition of love as this world defined it, okay? But when you look it up as Yah defined it, it's give and gave. So let's try it. Walk in, give and gave as Christ himself for us gave as an offering and a sacrifice. There it is. There it is. You got to flip that thing, and you can't flip it out of your flesh. You got to flip it as your spirit leads, as the spirit of Yah leads you. Because if you really don't, and none of it makes sense in the natural. But when you're able to flip it by the ruach in you, then you can see where the error really rests. Listen to it again. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 2. It's talking to you about walk in love. How can you walk in love? Is love defined as something you can walk? No, you can't. So it's talking about walk in, give and gave as Christ himself. What did he do? He gave an offering and a sacrifice to Yah as sweet smelling savior. Praise the mighty Yah. That's how important it is to have the ruach. Because when the ruach pull up, it's going to break that thing up and it's going to bring it down. So you can understand it. You see what I'm saying? Where in your spirit, man, this is food for your backpack for sure. Okay? This is food for your backpack for sure. Because what happens? What happened when he did that? He said, and walk in, give and gave. Watch this here. As Christ himself for us an offering. What did he give us? He gave an offer. He was given an offering as an offering and a sacrifice to Yah for a sweet smelling savior. You see? It's give and gave. Always was and always will be. Okay? Now, you back in still Ephesians chapter 5. We're still in Ephesians chapter 5. Now we're here in verse 25. Now we here in verse 25. Now, this is for the men. This is for the men. Now, this is potent here, y'all. And men, this is where they have dropped. It's because they never sat up under the ruach. They sat up under a man to teach them what it's supposed to be like. And all these camps and groups and academies and all this Hebrew Israelite movement, they so busy sitting up under the flesh to define who they are as a man. That's something I taught probably a month ago. You or maybe two. You are a man by birth. That's why a woman can't raise a man, nor can a man raise a man. Yah has to raise that man. You see? That's what they don't understand. He has to raise that man. Because with that man, when he's first born, everything he's going to learn without nobody even teaching him. Eventually, he's going to learn sitting up, crawling, walking, or whatever. When his inside starts switching from a kid to a young teenager, it's from the inside. It's not from the outside only. Yeah, they start growing a little this here, and their voice tone change. All of that starts to move different. So who can help them in their walk? Yah. Yah can. But we never gave these children Yah. We never give and gave our children and our family Yah. We still giving them us because we see fit that we love them and don't even know what love is. You're giving the wrong thing. And all they need is what Yah has to offer. And I've read 5 or 6 scriptures telling you, if you need wisdom, Yah going to give. You need knowledge, Yah give it to you. You need understanding, Yah give it to you. See? That wasn't just the wisdom in the spirit. That's the wisdom in the knowledge. Because the Ruach said he will come and he will teach you all things. He's not just talking about in the spirit realm. He'll teach you that which is in the flesh realm. What did he say? If you, he will be your father. He will be a judge in the courtroom. He'll be your mother. He'll be whatever you need. Because he's all that and some. He to give and gave. So in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25, husbands, is he talking to one or all of them? He's talking to many. Love your wives, even as Christ loved the church. Hold, stop. He's trying to tell these men to love their wife. These men don't know how to love themselves. So how are they going to love a wife? You get it? You need to give yourself time for self. Give and gave yourself so you'll know how to give and gave someone else. This is called unequally yoked. Going back to that. What Yah has joined together. Yah is not joining Satan's seeds with his spiritual seeds. Yah, cut that mess out. Unequally yoked, but yet you stand at the thing, somebody said you are married, and then you've been married, you say, I can't get out of this marriage. You didn't get in it. You got in it. You can get out of it. You did it in the flesh realm. You didn't do it in the spirit realm. Yah, was this equal? No, because he was messing with this person and had a baby while we was after the wedding and all this. You know why? Because everybody is defining love in all the wrong places. And this is another reason why a lot of people are losing their lives today. It's because the same ones that said they love them, love them by what? Being partaker of their last seconds on earth. So here you got it here. I'm going to break this down and it's going to make so much sense. When I get to Ephesians and I see Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 25, I say, we in danger. Here we are in danger. No, you ain't. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself. There that word gave. See? Why is gave backing up love? Because we're supposed to understand not this worldly love, but who Yah is that's in between this. Husband, give and gave your wives, even as Christ also give and gave the church and gave himself. You see, it's give and gave. It's not love. How dare you think that a man can love a wife without having the definition of the kingdom love? And the kingdom tells me there's no such thing as love the way the world has defined it in the kingdom. Because the kingdom is give and gave. What you mean, Father? Deborah, from the beginning, I gave and I give. From to the end, when I bring them into the kingdom, I'm going to give them the lake of hell or eternal life in the kingdom. How they going to get it? I'm going to give it to them. Why? Because I already given it to them. It's in my book. Written. They have already been what? Watch this here, y'all. Watch this here. They have already been what? Given their eternal destiny. And what love had to do with it. You say you're awakened, you got to wake up to really spirit and truth, not the stupidity of awakening, that you awaken, that you somebody, and that you're going to realize that you ain't nobody. Why you thinking you somebody? Don't know nothing about this creator. That's why I was telling y'all, I try to get y'all to understand about all these names that they call them. And when you finish all of that, who is this thing in us that's greater? See, they can't touch that. Because, see, they forgot the Ruach, the day of Acts. See, they know that there's a spirit that comes. Now, a lot of them are turning away from it. Now they go into these other powers, these other energies, these ancestors. They're going everywhere outside of where they should have been going. So that's why he said, it's over, Deborah. It's over. That's why he's not coming down here to teach. Why should he come down here and teach Genesis all over to Revelation? Why should he do that? When he already know it is written in the Lamb Book of Life. Or either you written in the books to the lake of hell, to the lake of fire. Why is he going to come down here and redo everything again? He ain't doing it. That's why the Father says it's over. So when he's saying here in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 25, he says, husband, give and gave your wives, even as Christ also give and gave the church and gave himself. He give and gave the church. He's telling the men, give and gave your wife. But they don't know how to give and gave their wife. So they use the fake word love that the world then told them, give it that. And then you ask them, how do you define it? Well, I don't know. Sex. Take her out to eat. Come on now, y'all. You can't even get none of these people to sit down and have a billion people in a room and define the word love. They're going to all say something different, but they're all going to be on one accord. Ain't that deep? They're going to all say something different, but they all going to be on one accord. We're going to make them one accord because they're going to define the worldly love. They ain't going to have give and gave detached, which is the spiritual of who Yah is. So also you have to see. And another thing I noticed, even in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 25, when he's telling these husbands, love your wives. He said, husband, give and gave your wives, even as the power also give and gave the church and gave himself. You see? So it's give and gave, y'all. How is he going to tell you to love, but he gave himself? He's telling you, give yourself, men. Give and gave yourself. Likewise, women, same thing. Give and gave your husband. You'll find out you have the best marriage that no man can touch. Once you learn that Yah is give and gave. You can't, wife, you can't stand and say that you are anointed and appointed and predestined, and you are a prophet, and your husband said he is a pastor, but you and him won't give and gave each other. You got to give and gave. Stop trying to hold on to these positions, and give and gave mean come on one accord. I give you, you give me. I gave you, you gave me, and we give. Do you know right now a lot of things that's going on right now, arguments that people are having, how do they settle it? Kill, fight, shoot, kill, destroy. Why? Because they don't know how to give and give. That's all it was. Bring give and gave up in there. Then you'll be okay. Then you'll have tomorrow. And then when tomorrow comes, pour give and gave back in it. Come on, let's give. You don't have to be right, woman. You don't have to be right. Give it up. And be wrong if you're wrong. You don't have to be right. Okay? You don't have to be right. You can be wrong. Give it up. Give it. Give it up. Same thing with the men. You don't have to be controlling and manipulating and try to do this ruler thing. For what? Give it up. And you'll see things working together. And every time y'all have an issue, you pull up with give and gave. Then you say, okay, babe, I'm going to give you that because, you're right. This is what give and gave does for you, y'all. I know y'all don't know nothing about that because like he said, they missed Genesis, Deborah. They missed the whole thing because they don't understand. Yah is give and gave. He ain't this trash y'all talking about called love. You look up love and it tells you, and even backwards, it's where is it? Backwards, it spells this. Okay, so let's go to Galatians. In Galatians chapter 2 and verse 20. Galatians chapter 2 and verse 20. In Galatians chapter 2 and verse 20, it reads, I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I, but Christ live in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of Yah, who loved me and gave himself. You see how that love is in there? What did I tell y'all? I told you, when you start back reading, when you go into the Bible, you're going to see this word love. And on down the line, you're going to see either give or gave. This is how they kept you from knowing really your Father on the throne identity. How did he do that, Deborah? Did not he give us grace and mercy? Where is love in that? Grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. You see what I'm saying? He gave us grace and mercy. Everything you see is what he gave us. He gave Adam Eve and gave Eve Adam. He gave them. It didn't have to be a battle between, oh, I'm male and you female, or you this, I'm ruler, you king. All that is not necessary, not in Yah, who is give and gave. Learning how to give and gave, meaning learning how to be wrong. Give it up. And if you're right, your partner will say, yeah, give it up. She's right. He's right. She's wrong. Give it up and leave it there. Do you know right now that's one of the biggest issues? No one wants to give and gave, but y'all said they missed Genesis, Deborah. So why would they get it today? That is so true. If they missed it in the beginning in Genesis chapter 1, why would they grip it in the year 2024? So it says, by faith of the Son of Yah, who loved me and gave himself for me. And that was what? Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. Now listen to this. By faith, the Son of Yah. Now there go faith. That's one of the brands. The Son of Yah. Okay. Who loved me and gave himself for me. So love is what? The action of it, which to me is the power, is to give. He said he gave, which is give and gave. You see? So therefore, it was no need for the word love, but only the action. So we can know that this is the characteristics of the Father, for sure. That's why today we don't know Yah's characteristic is to give and gave. And if we see him as one that has given us everything that he has given us and gave us in a way that we should be embracing him and just really just knitting into him in appreciation, in repentance. This is why. That's why you don't find nothing nowhere. You don't find nobody caring if they don't repent. You don't find nobody caring if they have a heart of give and gave. You don't. It's so much wicked and evil. Satan has done a great job with deceiving the whole world, because he took his whole way of deceiving the world. He had to take away everything that defines Yah, and he did it. He did it. That's why it was important that we need the Holy Spirit living in us, so he can reveal himself for who he really is, not who Satan has gotten the world to think that our creator is, because he is truly give and gave. He always was and he always will be. Okay, so we're back to Galatians chapter 1, verse 4. In Galatians chapter 1 and verse 4, it reads, who gave himself for our sins. There you go. Wait a minute. You mean he didn't love us? That's why he gave himself? Where's love? Who gave himself for our sins, that he might deliver us from this present evil world, according to the will, there you go, separating the Father from the Son, from the will of the of Yah and our Father. Yah, the will of Yah and our Father. I don't know. I might have wrote that wrong, but that didn't even the will of the Father. How is he doing this? He gave himself. Why are we knowing that his identity is to give and gave? What happened along the line that we don't know that about the Creator? Why is it we still today don't know that he is give and gave? Why is it we don't know it? You remember all these churches on every corner? Have y'all noticed that? There's a church, 2 or 3 churches on one corner. You see, not one corner, but in one block. What happened that we were in all these places throughout life and we didn't know the identity of the Father is give and gave? There could be times in our life when we're going through something, we can be changed by feeling, wait a minute, but you give and you gave. You see, you gave that grace and you gave that mercy. You gave me a breath of life. You gave me this. You gave me this. You gave me this. You gave me a husband. You gave me a wife. You gave me a job. You gave me, you see? We can't even thank him for what we have because we don't know that he is the give and gave. But didn't he say riches? Even the rich, or those that are rich, not just in the wealth, but he said even the rich and the rich richly in all ways is of Yah, is given to us from Yah. You see? And we don't even glorify him in it because we don't know that it ain't us, it's him. We are taught that he is not all that and some. We can only say that when we're suffering, when we're going through, when we're going through hard time and turmoil and worrying and can't sleep and having sickness and then we want to come in and have a real what they call what the world call a love relationship. Y'all don't want that. He want us to recognize that, hey, I'm giving gave. Didn't I give your Ted Deuteronomy 28 that curse? Who gave you that curse? See, everything you do, you still gonna end up with give and gave. Who created the lake of hell? Come on now, you see, he created to do what? To give it to someone to go in. See, you got to, and this is where also with this give and gave, it also shows you the sense of in the spirit realm having the fear of Yah, because you know who he is, and you're not playing with who he is, and he ain't playing with you. Sister Deborah tell you that. So in Galatians chapter 1 and verse 4, it says, "Who gave himself for our sins, that he might deliver us from this present evil world, according to the will of the Father." Now, right there, he's telling you who gave himself. He constantly keep telling you all himself, who gave himself. A lot of times when it's saying himself, they talking about Hamashiach, which is Christ, because they trying to get you to understand that the Father came down with the Son, and he gave all of himself to come down with the Son. You see, and go through everything when all he had to do is just that quick, and none of it didn't have to go through none of it. But he gave himself, and that's what the world called Christ. That's what we would call Hamashiach. Now, I'm going to tell you the key to it. When Yeshua came on the scene, Yeshua would have never been killed. Okay? I'm going to let y'all know that in case y'all didn't know that. And I know 99.15 billion don't know that. Yeshua, when he came, he would never have been murdered or killed. Only way they was really sealing the fact that he needed to get up out of here was because Christ was attached to him. If he would have just said, I'm Yeshua, I'm come to represent Yah. You see? But when he came and said, I'm Yeshua, the Christ. He told on himself a little bit, and they don't like that. We waiting for the Christ, and you bringing your tail down here, telling us you him? We ain't gonna have that. So that was the stand to see to it that the mission go according to the Father. But it was Christ that they didn't care for him saying he was. That's why they wanted to kill that flesh. You ain't Christ. You can say whoever you are, but you ain't Christ. And that's how it is today. What was they doing back then, you all? Want me to tell you what they was doing? Exactly what y'all doing today. Denying the power. They knew that if you say you the Christ, that's Yah himself with all power. And we can't handle that. We kings, we rulers. We ain't going for that. We ain't ready for that. You see? They didn't want that. Was it the will of the Father? Excellent plan. But that's the way it went. He come to give what he come to the earth to give. That was his life. That's what he did. Ain't that what he did? He gave his life. Come on now, somebody talk to me. You see? But where's love in that? It tells you, oh, Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He gave out of his love to the world, y'all. To the world. He wasn't coming for the world. When Satan had already deceived the world, he was only coming for what was his. So you have to also understand, you got to go back to that, gave his life for those that has eternal life. So love don't have nothing to do with it. Because you cannot bring a spiritual love to the kingdom. Because it cannot be defined outside of the word give and gave. That's spirit and truth. So when we're talking, we have to understand that give and gave. We got to put the power back where it belongs. And back where it come from. But we have to put who this creator is. Everything from Genesis to Revelation is what he give and gave us. And we still ain't gonna see it. Okay. So when we get to Romans chapter 8 and verse 32. Romans chapter 8 and verse 32, it reads, he that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all. How shall he not with him also freely give us all things? And he's talking about his own son, which his own son is Yeshua HaMashiach, with HaMashiach being Yah with us. That's the son of Yah. And he spared not him, but delivered him up for us. What did he do? Why was he doing that? Where is love? For us. He's what? Delivered him up for us all. How shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Give us all things. So see, Yah is give and gave from Genesis to Revelation, and we still today don't see it. Didn't he those 4 horses? Didn't he give and gave those 4 horses? That's in Revelation chapter 6. See, everything you see and everything you're going to continue to see, you're going to see how Yah is give and gave. That's defined who he is. Not man-made word love. That means all kind of things. And you all brought the definition up. And we had two that nailed it with give. He's give. He's give and gave. Okay. So here he says, and him also freely give us all things. That's who he is. He's give and gave. Okay, Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 8. In Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 8, it says, wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity and gave gifts unto men. He gave the gifts unto men. Was it based on his love? No. He's give and gave. He didn't have to say, I so love the world that I created the heavens and the earth for man. No. Because his definition is what he did and what he gave. That means the power and what he gave you. Life, the breath, he gave you that. He gave you a spirit. Did he give you his image? In Genesis chapter 1, did he say he gave us an image like unto himself? Wasn't that giving? The word love. You see? We missed it, y'all. And that's how powerful Genesis 1 is. When you don't get, if you're not able to get into Genesis and understand Genesis 1, you missed it. I don't care about no Torah and nothing else. So it's not about trying to hold on to traditions of the flesh of men that could not hold on to traditions. It's about living in the spirit realm where Yah is at today in you. Okay. So now here we go again. Let's do that one more time. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 8. Wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captives and gave gifts unto men. Even that, you see or don't see it. Where's the, wait a minute, hold on, Father Yah. Wait a minute, Father Yah, something going on here. Wait a minute, what's going on? What's going on? Where's the gifts? Where they at? Y'all don't, nobody sees them. Nobody sees them. Nobody knows them. Because they thinking that the way these people are portraying, they rather take the way they say and who they say they are and just run it that way. These people who teach it and preach it don't know what give and gave is. And it's the characteristics of who the Father is toward us and how he felt toward us to what a point where he say, okay, I'm going to give them this. I'm going to give this one eternal life, and I'm going to give this one to the lake of hell. Didn't he give it? Yeah, he created them, didn't he? Both destinies, didn't he? And he gave each destiny. What did he tell the serpent? You're going to have your seed. Well, how he going to get them, Father? I'm going to give them to him, Deborah. And I'm going to have mine. Give it! Satan ain't got no seed. So the only way he can get him if y'all give it to him. Do he have to love him to give it to him? You see what I'm saying, y'all? But yet he gave it to him. He told him in Genesis 3 and 15. He was sealing in him to know that I'm going to let you have your seed. I'm going to give you your seeds. And I'm going to have my seeds. And I'm going to separate them. I'm going to put intimacy. He even told how one going to have crushed the other's head. See, y'all orchestrated all that back then, and we still sitting on stupid today, talking about we awaken. Okay? So, let's get to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 11. In Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 11, it says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors, and some teachers. You see down on the total poll, pastors is fourth. I thought they was fifth, but they're fourth. How did they get to be the first one? You see? Now they said that Yah gave. There go, wait a minute. There go him again. Give and gave. These are gifts he gave. How did we get down here and take the order the way we wanted? You see how we did things, y'all? This is how we do things. We take it out of his order and place it in ours. And we're walking around here talking about we awaken and living in our order and not his. How you awaken and you don't know nothing about Genesis chapter 1 that gave you everything before anything of sin or wicked and evil was created. He gave you everything in his perfect form. And you still today don't understand what Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 is doing. Still don't know nothing about it. So here in Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 11, and he gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, and some pastors, and some teachers. Now, this is said to be the gifts that he felt that we needed in the body of Hamashiach. So how did the pastor get on the highest totem pole? Man's order. I'm telling y'all, he said the whole earth is off course, meaning out of order. They did it from Genesis, he said. He said, Deborah, they didn't wait till the end, to the what they call. Y'all ain't got no New and Old Testament, but what they call Old Testament. They didn't switch so many things they can't even see. Okay? So but who gave those gifts? He did. What did love have to do with it? I love you so much. I'm gonna give you an apostle, you and a prophet, and you an evangelist. I love you so much. No, I just gave. And then it says something about gifts are given without repentance. You see? So it ain't nothing you did. It's nothing you entitled to. But they don't get that. These people on this Devil platform is actually teaching and has not been given what you call the anointed and appointed, predestined, ordained position to teach. But since YouTube, the devil's platforms has opened up, they allow them to shoot through and lie to the whole world like Satan did, deceive the whole world, and they loving it. Okay, and they loving it. Okay, we got. He called those positions and he gave it to us. Why are we letting other people take the gift that Yah poured out in us? How could someone tell Sister Deborah that she's not a prophetess of the Most High Yah when you don't even have the Ruach? You can't even say, well, okay, Yah called me, or Yah ordained, predestined me, or foreknew me and called me to this. And this is when he did. You ain't got nothing to justify, clarify, identify anything. Just on YouTube, spilling your mouth. Because you ain't got nothing else to do but deceive like Satan has always done. Deceive the whole world. And that's what all these platforms is for people to be deceived. And that's what they use them for. That's why they don't mess with a lot of them that's been on here a long time. Because they only say words to the world. They ain't saying nothing that's in threat of the Most High Yah, of being the light. Satan ain't afraid of these platforms having someone that has a pen needle or light or have some light. He ain't afraid. He got 99.9 doing his will. So what they tell them, you better not say this, you better not say that. They won't say nothing. They'll stay right in the rim of who they think they are and the people they know that they can bash into it, and they'll stay in that rim. They ain't gonna come outside that rim. They ain't gonna miss out on that check. Okay, so now we're in First Peter chapter 4 and verse 11. In First Peter chapter 4 and verse 11, if any man speak watch this. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yah. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which who Yah giveth. These people Yah ain't gave these people nothing. And this is why they speak in the way that they're speaking. And this is why they can't bring spirit and truth to you. That's why they don't have the light in their right hand. So they give you what the Satan has given them, the ability to use this devil platform so that they can gain. And see, they didn't understand that while you gaining this and you trying to make it look like it's righteous, Satan is gaining the ability to use you. because you're saying things that controls the world and has to do with the world. As long as you saying everything about the world, you're good to go. That's how these people y'all didn't understand. This is why these people stay on this platform so long. They ain't because they holier than thou. They are anointed. They ain't appointed. They serving Satan. And they have learned to do it his way or no way. And they have learned it and figure out, I don't have a problem doing it as long as I can get a check. And they're content. And then they're leading the mass. The mass gives them the I ain't gonna say energy, but the strength to believe they are the people of Yah. Or they are called to teach you. The people give them that strength, but they don't understand. That's why you got all these people liking and subscribing and financially supporting you, because y'all still going through the broad gate. All of y'all going through the broad gate. The world loves its own, so it's going to support its own. Okay. So here in 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 11, if any man speak, let him speak as an oracle of Yah. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yah give it. Yah give it. Yah give it. That Yah in all things may be glorified through Yeshua HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Forever and ever. But here it's also letting you know that the ability which Yah give it. See, that's the problem. I was telling you, these people are putting these men as pastors and making them pastors and deacons and use a prophet, and these men is making these men this to keep them in their fault. They ain't waited for the Holy Spirit to call them. The reason why that's why you will never hear them teaching what Sister Deborah's teaching. Is when you're not led by the Ruach, you're led by the world. You teach what the worldly people teach you to teach. They teach you. It's the same. It's the same tree. If you're an apple hanging on that tree, well, you gonna only say, do, think, feel, act the way the tree itself, just so you can hang on that tree. That's sad. Nope. I mean, that's just the way it is. But when the whole tree is destroyed, what does that mean? Every fruit on it shall cease. Praise the mighty Yah. Now we're down to our last verse. The last verse is 1 John chapter 5, verse 11. 1 John chapter 5, verse 11. And this is the record that Yah has given to us eternal life. What? Past tense. And it's what? It's given to us eternal life. And this life is in his Son. You see that? Yah has given us eternal life. And this life is in his Son. So listen to this. He is given. He is given, gave. The Most High is give and gave. Give and gave. And this is why there's so much hate in the world today, is because that broad gate was created to take in Satan's crew through that broad gate. And it's broad because so many people are detached. They are the seed of Satan. Okay. And I say, if Satan got, I'm just throwing out, if Satan got 100 seed, out of 100 seed, 98 of them would think that they are the spiritual seed, but they are Satan's seed. And the other two will be the spiritual seed, but no, the 98 won't see them as spiritual seed because they only see into darkness. And the spiritual seed, the spiritual two seeds, the two spiritual seeds sees in light, and they can see the darkness, but the darkness can't see themselves in darkness. So it's like they're going through the broad gate, not know they're going. That's a Woo-wee, that's something else. So what has happened to Sister Deborah also, I wanted to, right, you cannot serve two masters. But, it today, in the world today, I cross that bridge when I get to it. You see, they don't, and I can see, because if they don't know Genesis 1 and not understand, Yah is not the Love, but he is giving gave. If they don't know that, and like he said to me, he said, Deborah, but that's just like them not knowing my power. Everything I did, I gave them. I gave them everything I created. I didn't need it. I created it to give them. Why do he need it? Even though it's his will, but he created it. It's his will, but he created it to show you that I'm giving you all of this, and you stand your tail up and get up every morning and not give me glory and praise, and not honor the fact that, hey, I woke up this morning, I can see my hands, I can walk. And even if I couldn't see my hands, I just thank you for just the breath, another day of breath of life, which was given. There goes that word given. And when he created, he said, Deborah, when I created everything, you would never see, I so love the world that I created. All that I created in Genesis 1. You don't even see that. You ain't going to see that, because that's not the truth. See, that's why they can't see who he really is given gave. And if they can't see him as given gave, they can't see themselves. So in the world of people who can't see that they have not the heart of giving gave, because they are the serpent seed, it's the world and those therein. And they can call themselves spiritual. They can call themselves having the ruach. You got the spirit of Satan, because you don't have the identity of Yah in you. And this is what people do not care to hear or to embrace or to understand, because they thinking it's a bridge they're going to be given to cross. That's really what they think. But I just want to also share with you all the kind of, a lot of times I feel like I'm alone in this. Why? Because on these platforms, that's just showing you 99.9. When you hear Sister Deborah saying that, know that I'm telling you from a standpoint of spirit and truth, with the light in my right hand. Now, if I say that I have the right light in my right hand and I'm spirit and truth, I have the Ruach, and I'm on this devil platform, I'm actually seeing this darkness being this thick. I'm seeing people not giving people food for the spirit. Why? Do you all know the food for the spirit is going to tell you your every move when that time is to where you don't even know how to think? These verses and everything sister's been said, it's going to come back to your remembrance, because Yah is giving it to you to put in your backpack. Your backpack is in your spirit, because it's going to be needed to help you to hold on when other people going to be caving in. You're going to be standing up, look, they're going to be running to you trying to figure out, well, why you don't feel it, you didn't know that. No. You're going to be the one standing. And they're going to be falling all around you. But you're going to be the one standing, because you got what it takes in your spirit to understand why you are standing and who are suffering you to stand, because he has given you the ability to stand while others are going to fall. You see, we have a lot of people on YouTube talking about chosen. You be very careful dealing with individual, because what I also see, a lot of them that's saying that they're chosen, they found a way that they can get likes and subscribers, and they're coming into an area where they're chosen. Now they can be chosen to be the seed of the serpent, which majority of them are. Okay, so they're coming from that end. And then you have those that are spiritual. Now, this is the problem I have. You can be chosen, and you're chosen to tell the whole truth of the matter. But with me, I see the pain. That's what I see. That's how I'm able to divide them. One that Yah has chosen, I can discern their pain. Y'all, they suffering big time. Y'all, they suffering big time. And I asked the Father, I said, oh, Father, don't let them take their life. Don't let it go that bad. Because I can feel it. I can feel it, because they're suffering. because they are the chosen and they telling truth at its highest, but only one believe them is them themselves. You see, we have several of those on YouTube, but you can see it in the way they communicate and way they talk. You can see the pain and the suffering. At least I can. Because this one young man, his name is Trent, and he's all over the place with his conversation. But when he needs that help, he's trying to get it, but he's trying to get it from all the wrong places because he is chosen, and he don't understand that you are chosen. You are chosen, but you're chosen to stay he tells me, in your lane. And it's hard to stay in your lane when you're trying to tell people something that is spiritual, and you in your lane is that light that you can still come into after all this darkness, trying to convince darkness and trying to teach darkness and trying to reveal. You ain't got no business in that area, no way. But you find yourself there, and you're giving your all, and you shining the light, and you just wondering, well, wait a minute, they ain't seeing, but okay. He said it in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 4. He gave them the light, verse 5. The light shineth, but darkness don't comprehend it. That's a good verse to let a lot of people that are the true chosen ones to embrace and to rest in the fact that the light, he said, the light shineth, but the darkness will not comprehend it. So as they not expected to comprehend what the light is pouring out. So the true chosen ones has no idea that Sister Deborah exists and beholding them. They have no idea that I am given the gift to discern who's the chosen and who is not. Does it go on there and tell them? Do I go on there and say, when you're chosen, you ain't the chosen? No. I stand back and I behold the difference, separating which is which. And it's a lot of them claiming the chosen on Satan end, and they doing a job. They doing a job on the people, but only on their people. Okay, those that's in the dark. So to them, that's light, because they say they chosen. The word itself, chosen. See, when you got two chosen, like he said, love you can't bring down two. Okay, you can bring give and gave down one. Even give and gave can't be brought down two, because it's too powerful to be brought down into two forms as the flesh. The flesh is your worst enemy. It ain't here to make no peace with it nor nobody else. Okay, now these two particular guys, this is what made me new. This is what made me realize that Yah is doing something behind the scene. And when I say behind the scene, behind the spiritual scene, because these people, they don't, how would I say it? It's just something about them that's different from me. They are men, but it's just something about them that's different from me, but they're men. But guess what? We got more in common than we got more. Now we got less in common. No, we got more in common, because I believe that these people here, even though they come for a different mission, they're saying the same thing. Okay, they're speaking on it. And I thought that I was alone, and I said, okay, Father, they're gonna find out. They're gonna have to find out, as you say, the hard way. And it's not just that it's the hard way; it's the right way in Yah. He's going to have to let people find out the right way, which is Yah's way to the suffering and what is going to be poured out onto Judah. So when I heard these guys, I really listened to them very attentively. And I myself did not subscribe to them, but I have heard them, and I still will hear them again, because they're saying things that Sister Deborah been on this Deborah platform saying. And it's this one particular one. I say, oh, you a little mini me, you mini me, you mini me, because he says it was so fierce. He the way he act just like Sister Deborah. I said he is mini me. The good thing about it is you can be in the body of Hamashiach, which is the church, which are the saints, and you don't have to look like each other. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to say things like each other, but you know that that person is in the body of homicide because somewhere along the line, you ain't got no business talking like that in this day and time. That's one of mine. Check. When they can talk this talk, check. They in there. They ain't in there because Sister Deborah said they in there. They in there because I already can feel that it's no way you gonna come on this devil platform talking like that and not be check in there. And this guy is one. This is his web page on YouTube. Okay, and this is another one. And the reason why I said he's mini me is because this is this is this is him here. I hope you can see that. This is what he talked about that made me feel that he's me. You see Judah in there, something that I constantly keep telling you all about. Listen what this young man is talking about. That's the topic. That's his topic here. And he's talking to Judah, and this is his page. He's talking to Judah, and this is his page. And I really did enjoy his message. But as I saw him, I said, oh, that's a little mini me. That's mini me. Okay, now we have something else I want to explain to you through the spirit of who Yah is. This is what he gave the prophetess for me especially. And not that I'm going to go over in someone else's lane or go over into darkness to cater to it. A lot of people are confused with understanding spirit and truth and the light. The light does not go to play in darkness. Okay, let me say that again. Light does not find its way in darkness, playing. And this is the problem I have with seeing a lot of people on YouTube. They play in darkness. Oh, yes, they play in darkness, y'all, big time. They don't understand light is not called to play in darkness. Light is not called to play in darkness. Why they're doing it, I cannot explain it. I cannot make sense of it. When you're dealing with what you're seeing on the media and in the news, you be very cautious because you can find yourself playing in darkness. Okay. When you think of Trump and Biden, for instance, when you think of them finding Trump guilty, all of this is a charade. It's a cover up, y'all. It's to get the people focused on any and everything to keep you from really seeing what they are doing. And they've been pretty good. They've been pretty. I'm gonna go and give them that credit. They've done some things in the last four years that I'm still looking at and say, Father, why ain't the people seeing it? Why ain't they seeing this? Why ain't they seeing it? And it's not meant for people to really see it. I can speak on it 24/24 and people still cannot see it. Donald Trump is role playing. Okay, this is a setup from the floor. Okay, and I wouldn't use my platform to even entertain the fact that he was charged and this and that. That's all playing games. Here it is. You got a few months before election, and the one that's running just been charged. It's a clown show, y'all. It's a clown show, and the only thing that I think that's sad about it, behind that clown show, the truth of the whole matter is your chaos. It is your chaos. They playing with your people's lives. I mean, their real lives as far as what they're real living. They're playing with it, and they're playing it so well that it's interfering with their mental ability. They messing with them in a deep place, y'all, in a deep place of their mind. and they're tampering with people's minds, and people are thinking this is what living is, and this is what I'm gonna fight for, and he didn't do this, or they shouldn't have did this, and then they're all living, but these are all wicked people who take this here Donald Trump and think it's about getting likes and subscribers to bring him forth, to identify he was charged. Now this is what I'm saying to y'all. Now watch this here. It's nothing wrong with bringing forth the news. Now, when you're bringing forth the news, you stay on the dark side. But when you bring the news, you bring light to it. You see the difference? People don't bring light to anything when they're on these devil platforms. They keep you over here in this darkness, because in this darkness, they can get a check. In this light, you get nothing but a foot up. You see? And this is what they do. You see, that's, to me, this is another way in how I'm able to measure people. Is if when you're over here and you everything is about the world and what the world is doing, then you ain't bringing no light to those that's in light, or you're not feeding people's spirit and truth on the other side, or you're not bringing any light out of what the darkness is revealing to the people. Bring them some light, and I come to bring you the light of this Trump and Biden thing is a setup from the floor, and the Spirit spoke to me just as loud and clear today that this is a powerful move of Satan toward the people. It's toward the people. What they're doing is toward the people, and it need be. It need be, because it's just darkness against darkness. That's all that you're seeing today. A lot of people think it's about Hebrew Israelite and this and this and that. No, baby, it's darkness against darkness. The light gonna pull up out of here. So it got to be darkness against darkness, and bringing it to the debris in which y'all said it will be destroyed. A lot of people are doing things and not understanding all this clown show regarding Biden, especially the Europeans. They need to clown because they are the world. They're falling down with the ship, so it don't matter. But you bring light to it by warning those that's sitting over here in light. Be careful. Don't go over here in the darkness trying to find just clarify and identify what just happened. Know that it's a setup already to steer those that's in the light away from the light, to deal with the darkness. Voting and all that mess, I never did no way, so it don't matter with me. But when people start to see this now, when they put him on here, they got all these people, and you got our ignorant people, Judith, which is all well, said the Father. They in darkness. They've been in darkness since they've been treating him the way that they've been treating him. So that's where they're going to rest and reside. But a lot of people need to stay away from a lot of that cares of the world, because that's all that is. And the Father showed me he showed it to me. He told me that, Deborah, this here is a sign of what they're going to do to the people. This is dangerous for the people, and it's okay. This need be. The world loves its own, so it supports its own. And Sister Deborah, I got a few minutes. Anybody have a question or two? I'm here if you have a question or two, and I'm going to end this live. And I really appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. I appreciate you, and I say that I hope you got something out of it. And from now on, those that are in the light or have a pen needle light, when you start to read, you're going to start to see give and gave from the Most High Yah. You're going to start to see it by the Spirit of Yah. Will He reveal those things to you to just tell you, when this is who I am, I'm giving gave, and that's just who He's going to be. And so what? You didn't know all these years. So what? You know now. He said in the end days, knowledge shall be increased. And He mean in the spiritual knowledge. And it's not saying it's going to increase to the world. It's increasing to certain ones, and that's the will of the Father. So I hope that you all got something out of it, and I appreciate each and every last one of you in the live chat. And I will say that I will be back. I taught this message probably 4 years ago, y'all, probably a little over 4 years ago, this give and gave. And that's why I get stuck on give and gave all the time of him, you know. I know that even if I'm reading, I'm saying love, I always say give and gave, you know. It's because I know now what he's consist of. Uh, what else? Oh, it's just so many things. But since we don't have any questions, I, Sister Deborah, will be back again. I think I'm gonna go to bed early, and I appreciate each and every last one of you. Oh, no, 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 no! I want to. No, no, I can't. I don't. I should have said this at the beginning. I like to thank each and every one who have donated to Sister Deborah, who have given Sister Deborah a drink of water. I thank you. I thank you, and I thank you, and I appreciate you. And I say unto you, shalom and shalom.